Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hollywood Animal. I do hope you're having a wonderful day today. It is a day, I hope, that's going to be awesome here because we're going to get set up to do two things. One, I'm going to give you the established goal for this run. And then it seems to me there's an awful lot of people in the comments for the last video that would actually appreciate a restart. And I've got an idea for it because I realize that this game, especially in the beginning, this game can get a little repetitive. I know it can. I have another idea. It looks like this one. Need to wait for her to be done. Okay. We're going to wait on that because I want my best editors on that film. Right here. What do we got? A guy named Ted. That one's moving up in the world too. Lovely. Okay. We'll start production on that one. So as a behemoth, right? We kind of talked about this already, but I just want to say, as a behemoth, our big thing is making really big movies and selling to everybody when we do. Because I'm limited on number of theaters, I hear that there will be more in later years. It is 1935. There's also like, I think pretty much everybody has said that it goes to 1950. Is that what I'm hearing? 1950 is the end of this Act 1, which is kind of cool, but it also means that I'm not even halfway through it yet. So yeah, there's some more game to this, right? We want to hit these tasks. I've been told I want to hit, or I've been told that people want me to at least finish Behemoth, and that makes sense because I started Behemoth and the next run would not be Behemoth. Okay, so that makes sense. So we're gonna try our best to get all three of the highest grossing spots at the end of the year. We're going to try to get the top 3 films of the year. That's our goal for this run right now, okay? Now to do that, we need to kind of implement a combination of things. The first thing we need to implement is we need to have an understanding that we're not going to be able to hit the maximum. So 9.9 is like, we're only going to be able to hit whatever our shelf is for viewers, right? So to do this, we don't need 9 nines. But if the other theaters can't do it either, which is what I suspect, the other theaters can't do it either, because if we take a look at this right here, go to cinemas. If I do this right here, you'll see that the Gernstein brothers, Evergreen Movies, etc., these guys all have like around 300 something too, right? And I'm currently sitting with 344 from mine, okay? So I'm not in this list. And there are no independent cinemas, so I cannot rent. So right here is basically where we're at. Gernstein brothers are kind of the only group that can beat me in the year. So what we want to do is we want to hit Gernstein hard, all right? And we've been doing Sabotage and all those types of things too. And we're gonna get more into that, right? We're gonna get more into the operations center and things like that. I do have a year of research to do on that, but hopefully we can get something done with that. In the meantime, we want to put things in place here that's going to hurt Gernstein. I'm not entirely sure if any of these will really hurt them. I kind of want them to release more movies, and I want them to release more movies next to each other so that individually each film that they release doesn't gross as much, right? That's the idea. We want our very single films to be hitting everybody. So we're going to time our releases. There we go. We're going to time our releases so that they are not competing with their own films, right? That's how it, now to maximize my revenue, I would want to release films all the time and just have more screens. Yes. But to get that specific goal, I never clicked the right thing at a time. To get this specific goal, we do not want our films competing with any other films, at least not within our own cinemas. So for this goal, we are releasing one movie at a time, okay? Now, the noise of the sheep is an 8.3. We're going to pull out all the stops. We're going to do all the revenue we can, or all the advertising tricks, etc. We're going to do all these things. But we also need to hit Gernstein while we're doing it. So, my bootlegger friend. Yes. I wonder if I'm able to beat down somebody from another studio. Am I able to do somebody from Gernstein? Not yet, it seems. I can hit their directors though. Okay, so Gernstein has a couple of directors. There's 7.0 7.0, and this guy's got the star power, right? So maybe we have Antonio Snyder beat down a little bit here, okay? It is June. Might be a better idea to wait until like maybe November or December, really late in the year to do this. That way they're beat down for the start of next year. Producers, cinematographers, they got a lot of screenwriters. And composers. Now if I hit his composer, it looks like he's only got one on the payroll. He's a 5.0. So if I take out his composer, he can't release any movies, right? That's theoretically, he can't release any movies, right? Yeah. Bessie's over here now, apparently. Okay. So yeah, top talent for Gernstein Brothers is what I'm looking at here. And if I go to order their skill like this, there we go. So probably Charlie, William right here. I think this guy here. We want to do a beat down on this guy right here. Your specialist learned William Wheeler's travel routes and has cleaned off the old blood from his favorite steel club. Nice. And in addition to that, we can also claim it a threaten. Try to get some other people that they have kind of riled up, right? So if we want to go over, get some other people, we have to make sure that they have GB by their name. I actually didn't see that last time. I hope I hit the right guy. We have to make sure they have GB by their name. So I'm going to go with this guy here. We're going to give this guy a threaten. Your specialist has learned the names of all of Antonio Snyder's relatives and is sharpening his knife. We'll see how that goes. We want to really fluster them because they're the only ones that can really compete with our box office titles, okay? There we go. Irish Mafia had a heart-to-heart talk with Antonio Snyder. He's shitting himself in fear. Nice. All right, cool. The beating. As your request, William Wheeler was brutally beaten by the Irish Mafia. Nice. Very good. Okay. In the meantime, let's make sure we also have protection from Mafia. Yeah, and I'm looking for something I can do against. I don't want to do any murders. I'm not above it, but I'm not going to do it right now. So maybe I am above it. Search for blackmail material on these guys. Yeah, so he's been beaten down. So I don't know why it should be showing me that he's like out of commission or at least unhappy or something, right? I'd like to get some dirt on, let's go with one of their producers. Maybe the guy who's a leader. This guy's already really unhappy. Screenwriters, directors. No, I think I want to keep hitting their talent. Joan. Yeah, maybe we'll get something on Joan or Pete. He's got the really high true artist thing. Maybe we'll see if there's anything on Pete. Search for blackmail material. We'll soon dig up something. At least I hope they will. Okay. In the meantime, Monster's done. Comes in as a 5.6. So I'm gonna send I think we can probably act that out. Soldier, evil monster. Yeah, we could probably bring this up. Okay, so I'm gonna say we give this to Homer. He's gonna grab soundstage 1 here. Bring this all the way up like that. There we go. And we're gonna want the Hespro. Now, I think we're very close to being able to upgrade this. We'll get even higher quality and such. I think it's very close. And then we have some research going in right now to get these 2 marks too. For the producer, he's only got 14 days left. I'm gonna let that go. Ooh, you can't participate either. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, you can do it. It's fine. We'll just make sure you're happy. Yeah. Make sure you're happy. There you go. And let's put Lewis on this. And we'll get maybe Wallace Turner. He's on the clock. Soldier. Maybe Victor. He's usually into playing monsters. He's really good with the evil monster thing, though. So we'll put Victor here. Our femme fatale. We'll make this... let's make it Eva. Eva can play this. My damsel in distress is Della Kester, and the soldier's going to be played by Wallace Turner, I think. He's played a soldier in the past. He's good with drama, though. Not so much... I guess none of them are good with science fiction. right? Because we haven't really had that yet. So why don't we just give him a chance? Maybe he'll be good at it. Okay, off you go. So the game plan now is less movies per year, but much bigger budgets in those movies. That's the plan. But we're not going to be able to really get a whole lot of bigger budgets because we're still dealing with small sound stages and those types of things. We get 5-year contracts available to us now. That's good. Let's go with 10-year contracts. Yikes. I think I'd rather have... is it 50%? Prematurely contract for someone? It's fine. 5 film contracts is better. We'll just do that. I don't need any money back. We're fine. So anyway, that's the plan for this one, is to clear... No, not that. It's to get this. Get all 3 of these, okay? Once we get all 3 of these, we're going to start a new one. And that one I'm taking all the way to the end. I'm not going to start over again to, you know... I mean, I guess I would actually start another one later, but I want to take the next run all the way to the end. I think there's been enough bug fixes now to where the stability of the game is going to support that. A couple of people have had ideas for a challenge run because the game, once you figure it out... Ooh, hang on. Beat a man to death and fled. Could it be that he just didn't realize it? The police can sort the matter out. Beat a man to death and fled. Search for blackmail. Oh, right. We got the blackmail. Yes, he beat somebody to death and ran away. Ooh, thanks. I don't know how I can use it, though. I don't really know what I'm doing with it. Actors. Let's go to Employee Center. Here we go. Go to Gernstein. Go to... So this guy, yeah, he's out. He'll recover in 8 days. Wow. His cost is extreme. And who was it that we just got dirt on? Was it one of the directors? No, this is the guy we threatened. And it was... I don't think I can really use this. It's Pete Lamb. Go back. Where's Pete? Right here, Pete Lamb. He's an actor. We got dirt on him. Information is fresh. So preferences females, illegal habits none, blackmail material, yes. Beat a man to death and fled. Okay, so we'll be able to... I don't know, maybe. He's got 9 years. No, he's done in 2 years. Less than 2 years. And then we might be able to get him to work for us instead. Anyway, so challenge runs, right? People have had the idea. The idea I'm liking right now, because the game is a bit easy when it comes to money, for those, it's kind of like one or the other, right? It's either very easy for you or very difficult for you, right? It's all about sort of how you understand how the game works, and sort of, I guess, knowledge of the film industry helps a lot with this, I guess. But because a lot of the stuff is elementary, like my freshman year of film schools type stuff. But one of the challenges that somebody proposed, I like the idea of, because I think it would be quite challenging to do in 1930s, and that is to have a run where it's an all-female cast, to have only females in every movie, right? For casting, I can't do that with directors, producers, and stuff. I can't. They're just not available. But for the talent on screen, to have it always be women, we can only use women. That would be quite challenging for this era because most of the talent are men. There are some pros and cons to this. The cons, of course, being like the social acceptability of it, and trying to get high Kino mark scores is probably going to be very difficult to do. And, you know, and that's directly related to how much you can actually, you know, get people to sit down and watch your movie. It's quite difficult to do that. Part of that challenge, though, is getting Wendy to level 10. So we would want to work on getting Wendy to level 10. In order to do that, we'd have to go boutique. And there's a pretty pronounced problem. I'm going to go pretty pronounced problem here with going boutique. And that is that the second challenge of boutique, this one, not this specific challenge, but in this slot, the second one, is kind of impossible to do right now. And I don't know when the devs are going to address that. That's the issue. But I think there's a chance they could address it before I finish that run. My run would not require... I have to go back and look at it because at the top of my head, I don't actually know what the text specifically says for this one, but it has to do with getting because the boutique is all about artsy stuff, right? It's about having the high arts. I believe it wants you to get Best Actor and Best Actress in the same film. And that's currently impossible to do in the same film. You can get both Best Actor and Best Actress, but you can only do so with different films. And that specific task wants you to do it in the same film. And that's an incredibly difficult challenge as is, but to have it be to where you can't do it because the game won't allow it is another matter. And the game won't allow it because you only your protagonist can get the award. And so, like, obviously you can't have two protagonists, so that would be why. So the Noise of the Sheep, I'm getting 5 stars from the Bone Grinder and from Thrilling Crimes. Woohoo. An A- Kino Mark score is fantastic. Looking pretty good. I think we're ready to make a whole bunch of money with this one. Everybody gets experience. And we didn't spend a whole lot, but we're going to make money. There it is. And now we have the Soldiers movie here. Soldiers came back here. Kind of went down a little bit, but I guess it's fine. So let's grab like this one. So as far as when that run is starting, that's the thing. I don't exactly know when the run is starting because it's kind of all about, I guess I want to get this one far away. So the Nose of the Sheep is going to repeat. So we'll end up going about here with it, I think. And then we'll just give this somewhere around there. I've had people ask questions about like how to know which ones to do with the screening schedule and everything. And it's kind of just using, in general, it just times your popcorn score by 1,000 and then go a little over that. If you're going to spend good on advertising, if you're going to be doing tricks and stuff, you can go a little bit over that. And that's kind of it. It's not that specific of science. And then you just sort of, teeter it down gradually. So you look at your number of showings and just have it go down gradually over time because that's what it'll do. All right, so we'll do that. And then we're going to have the advertising, of course. I'll start it right here. That's probably fine. I'm not sure we'll repeat this film. It's going to be fine. This one is targeting young men. Okay, young men. So that's probably not that one. And I think these ones will be fine. These ones here, American band from American schools. The neckline, kind of a deep neckline on the cover. I mean, yeah, young masses. There it is. That's what we want. I think this one's probably fine with that. Circulation seems small. Celebrate expertise. Yeah, these are fine. Okay, so we'll have that, and then we'll just get the dirty tricks. Yeah, we'll start that maybe like right here or something, and then we'll say Wilbur does it. Nope. We'll say Felix does it. He's gonna go to an orphanage. There you go, Felix. You have fun with that. Excellent. Some other people said that the new fast animations kind of, spoil it and ruin the game a little bit. And okay, so there's a pro and cons to this. When I wanted the ability to speed up animations, I didn't want them to speed up the animation by default. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a... what I wanted was the ability to hit escape or to click and have it skip through. That's what I wanted. But it's all the same to me because really what it comes down to is you're going to see this thing happen like 1,000 times. The first 10 times, first 20 times even, it's fine. It's great. But after a while, it's like, man, I'd like to get on with it, right? And so when you see the same animation over and over and over again, that was the problem, is when it stalls you every single time over and over again with no way to skip it. I was hoping for a way to just skip it, on a situational basis, but it's fine. Okay, let's go like this. Grab the studio, grab a concert hall, and sound. I think we're getting closer to having our own stuff, right? Accidental hero. A simple man caught up against his will in a whirlwind of events. I think we're getting close to having the film studio upgrade. That would be in the post-production department. Yeah, improved development, 112 days. Okay. And then our camera equipment is going to get, our sound equipment is going to get better in 70 days. And when this film releases, I think that gives us, that's going to unlock the ability to make our cameras better even still. Congress has passed the Social Security Act. America now has a federal insurance system for seniors, low-income families, and people with disabilities. Economist Arlo Frost offered his thoughts on the new law to a reporter for the City Lights newspaper. If you translate the law's confusing text into normal human language, it means that old people and lazy people can sit at home on the taxpayer's nickel. Only crazy people and communists could come up with something like this. Okay, first off, they pay into the system, okay? You're paying into it. It's not for free. You paid into it. You should get that back. Okay? I am one of those people, though, that I wish I could just not pay into Social Security and then not get the benefits. I know I'm crazy like that, but I feel like I should just, and we're kind of delving into a little bit of a realm of politics now, aren't we? But I mean, that's kind of the nature of the game. It's on topic anyway. I would like the ability to just manage my own money throughout the years instead of having it go into some big coffers like this, but it's fine. The trick worked. It always does. Victor McDonald. Thanks to the new Social Security law, we need to raise laborer wages by 20%. Minimum wage will increase from 120 to 144 per month. Though, of course, laws don't apply to illegal workers. It's time to think about the common man. We'll raise the salaries by 22%. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it. All right. So we now have released enough films to get the bonuses unlocked. So now I can make this camera even better. And I should be able to start that in 57 days is what it looks like. So now this camera can have additional upgrades, right? Really going to hit quality, I think, is the next thing I'll do. I'll have some really sharp looking films then. Everybody will love how well it looks. Or is it how good it looks? How well it looks? How well it looks is okay, right? Actually don't. For that specific sentence, I think it can work both ways. But it's probably good. I think you're supposed to say good in that instance. How good it looks. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And at this point, because of our goal, we kind of don't even need our other editor. Like we can just kick that because we're only going to be editing one film at a time now anyway. Okay, so number one at the box office for 4 weeks straight. That's what we want to see. And we're going to set up distribution for it again. There we go. And we will just let it happen. We made 1.2 million here. 72% occupancy on that. So I'm not sure what the last one here is. I feel like this should be over one more week because this is only showing me 3 weeks of attendance and it's covering up the 4th week. But regardless, send it, I guess. There it is. Now I can see it. It's kind of not lined up, though. It should be here. It's fine, though. I'm going to be saying that a lot this video. Like, I'm going to proclaim something, and then I'll say, it's fine. That's how I feel right now. The releases for videos, you guys probably have noticed if you're watching these in real time, like in not binging it like months later. Releases of videos are slowing down a little bit. And that's because I'm busy with some contract work. Sometimes I work with developers, and I work with publishers and stuff for games on certain things behind the scenes. You know, it's not like it's on my channel or anything. It's videos and whatever. So I'm working with a game dev to help their videos for their trailer that's coming out for a release. So anyway, I'm working on something for the next 2 weeks, and so this is going to be kind of my side gig. My channel is my side gig for 2 weeks, if that makes sense. Let's go and develop story elements faster. Like this. Let's do that. And then our protection from police has expired. So we'll go ahead and get that renewed because we can. And now I need to do something nice for the police. I think it's probably a good idea so I can keep having their raids happen without any stopping. So I think maybe I will have my own... I'm gonna wait until I'm not releasing anything for that. Like, I don't want to hit my big film while that's happening, so I'll wait. But then I'll let them raid my stuff for 6 months when I'm not really releasing much. Yeah, see, that animation was a little bit. I agree, it's a little bit fast. All right, so this one, I think this is going to be one of our films we really want to hit hard. We're going to be 2 different holidays for this, and I'm going to max this out, even though that probably means this one doesn't release for a second run, and it's probably okay. But I want you to go here. Now, is this one that has a big star? We don't have big stars right now, do we? I don't think we have anyone with that perk anyway. So going 12,000 screenings actually isn't really that important. So I guess we'll come down maybe like this, and then like say this, and then this, and then this. Okay, let's print. We'll get our advertising going about that far. And let's see. So best suited for men, specifically men. So billboards, middle-aged, older people, widely circulated newspapers. Probably. Yeah. I'm not sure the really artsy people necessarily need it. This is a more younger audience. I think these guys are, we could probably target them too. It's fine, but just we're staying away from these other ones, I think. And then we'll grab our dirty trick here. We'll go and visit, let's say, an orphanage with Francisco. And then we'll also have, just to revitalize this even more at the end, we'll have Wallace go ahead and surprise somebody at a wedding. Just to keep that up. Maybe not there. Maybe one more over. Nope, not you, Wallace. Go surprise somebody at a wedding. There we go. And I suppose if I'm going to do that, I could extend its advertising just one more. Because we want to make a lot of money and have the biggest films 1, 2, and 3 in the box office. A new genre received. Horror. Now we can have our sci-fi horror. Yes. Yes, now we can have our sci-fi horror. So let's take and do Alien now. And we want our sci-fi horror. It's right next to it. Nice. Right next to it. Yeah. And we'll go about, like, say this. Definitely. Now, we don't have a good setting yet, so this is going to be a... No, it's going to take place in a modern American town, I guess. Small town alien horror, I guess. An accidental hero, a simple man caught up against his will in a whirlwind of events. So the other challenge we're going to have in our female only... Well, this one says male character, but the icons say it could be one or the other, so we would want to do female. But some of these can only be male. Like a cowboy can only be male. So there's going to be a lot of things like knights. It looks like most of these can be... You can't do clumsy oaf. That takes out a lot of films ideas, right? So we'll have to make movies that are only available for female protagonists and also supporting actors too. Like supporting roles like sheriff, femme fatale I could do, but a sheriff I can't, right? As that. The antagonist can't do bandits, can't do criminal masterminds, can't do pirates, can't do tribal chiefs, right? I could do the gang, but it's got to all be women. So evil sorcerer is out of the question, right? But I can have a witch. So there's a lot of stuff like that. The antagonist in this is going to be an evil monster. It's not an alien, it's a monster. Fine. And then supporting, let's see, Alien had, I mean, there were sidekicks. There were several people like that. There wasn't really a rival. There wasn't any strict parents. Love interests weren't really a thing. Theme of the events. The themes here. We had, I guess, we had some profanity. That definitely happened. We had an evil, we really didn't have an evil transformation. So that didn't happen. Rape, prison break, kind of, but not really. Search for killer, shootout, a little bit. Struggle for a better life. There was a struggle. Vivid violence. That's a big deal. We should probably do something like this before it's too late. we could have, let's see, 5 out of 8 right now. We could say that there is... Now someone runs away from home. I don't really want that. And there's no love triangle here. We could say we could add nudity in here just to please the bone grinder. Let's make sure our finale gets in here. And this is the... I guess dies heroically. No. We want the protagonist. We want the antagonist to die. It's not really how it necessarily goes, but that's how we're going to do it. And then I suppose we'll add another supporting character just to help with this process. And we'll say it's a sheriff. There's a sheriff in here who's helping us. And the female accidental hero with her female sidekick. Yes, that's definitely going to do some good things. Richard. My man. Write me a brilliant script. Ooh. The German government has curtailed the rights of its Jewish population. The law for the protection of German blood and German honor deprives Jews of citizenship and prohibits marriages between Germans and Jews. The U.S. Immigration Service is preparing for an influx of refugees. Everybody is leaving Germany, not just ordinary Germans, but famous filmmakers too. Here's a quote from the Berliner Herald. I moved to America as soon as I found out about the new law. I'm a nobody here, but what else could I do? Germany is no longer a place for creativity. That's Jorg, is that how you say it? Kramer? The director of Stardance and Needle in the Linden Tree, or on a Linden Tree. An anonymous source at Gernstein Brothers told the Los Angeles Tribune that the new German laws are a real godsend for Hollywood. The studio is planning to sign contracts with several famous German directors. They do good work and cost almost nothing. I don't know what they did to annoy Hitler, but we need more people like that. Okay, so can I see them in the employee center now? Can I see... If I just go to free... am I able to see really good people for really cheap prices? How would I know if they're Germans coming over? Jane Fisher still hates me. This is like just won't work with me is what this is, you know. I think next time we definitely want to, do better by her. I'm not sure what I did wrong with her, but we want to do better there because again, all female cast and stuff is going to be tough. I think I like that idea of that challenge. It really it's going to put a lot of constraints on me, but it's also going to do some other good things. Like there's a real pro to con to this because all the actresses cost less. So I won't be paying as much, but I also probably won't be selling as many tickets. And then there's an event in the future, which someone spoiled for me already. Please don't do that. Where like, I guess the men go off to war, right? So the women wouldn't do that. So I wouldn't have that problem, I think it's one of those deals. It would make the gameplay interesting. If nothing else, it would make it a little more interesting because we're dealing with some constraints. And going boutique, we'd have to go boutique to help with getting Wendy to level 10. That'd be the only reason. Otherwise, I would totally do Trash Studio. I would, just to show you. But I want to get Wendy up to level 10. That matters more to me. We'll have plenty of time for Trash Studio next time. Well, the time after that, I suppose. We'll have plenty of time for that. Hello, Dale. Level 6 for Dale. Speed him up. Emma's still 6.3. Okay, a guy named Ted. Probably that one. It's a big old guy's face there. And then we wouldn't want to put it over top of Arbitrariness. So we want Arbitrariness to be one of the highest grossing films. So we're going to stay away from it. Even during the second week, we're going to stay away from it. So probably about here. And we'll only have these, 7,000 screenings or so during a week where it is very unlikely that Arbitrariness would have over 5,000 showings, right? So that's kind of where I'm at there. And then we're just going to do this and this and this. Okay. Print it. And then we'll come over and go like this. I don't think this film is going to be one of the higher grossing ones, but we can put the advertising in it anyway. This is suited for men, suitable for men. So we'll go about, we can hit both of these, I suppose. It's fine. Men, young and old, doesn't really matter, I guess, but it's got a higher artistic score too. We'll just hit this. It's fine. All right. And once again, we'll try to play the dirty trick back here. Victor will visit a hospice. Okay. Seems good. And I've got Cleo to be striking, so we're going to want to put her in a film right away. And the other two didn't hold. I will try to repeat his. There we go. And then let's get Cleo in a film. Male characters, female characters. All right, let's try to... We have the for him synopsis. Man, should we really put Cleo in with this? This is the untamed sex nudity movie. I wanted Richard to write this for me. Now it's gonna be Herbert. It says he's busy though, and I can't. It's an action movie. Action. There's a type of action. Maybe Elkin can do it. It's very cheap. I think you can try it. I'm gonna have you try it. And then the damsel in distress, revival, the mini serpent, right? Yeah, this one. Let's get. Looks like I can actually have him right. Even though he's busy, it's letting me do it. Interesting. Adventure comedy, though, is kind of where I'm at here. Right here. That's expensive, but I can afford you. Do I want to afford you, though? Tough call. You know, I'm not certain that you're 5.0. Even with you being happy, I'm not sure you're worth this bonus when there's a person right here next to you. 7.4. Who's only asking for 23. I just don't think... I'm going to have him write it instead. Yep. And then I've got some extra scripts here. This is a 9.5 coming out the door. Wow. What is this? No. The shards of the sword. Stab. Yeah, I don't like any of those expensive ones. We'll just leave that alone for now. We want to get Cleo in a movie right away, though. That's the problem. So we have these two projects, but they don't have any female characters, which is the other thing that's going to be difficult, right? Because if we're doing an all-female challenge, we'll probably have to write our own scripts all the time. Because buying scripts, you're going to go and like, yeah, I want to buy the script. Cool. Does the cast have entirely female? If no, then can't do it, right? So like you add one, it could be female for almost all characters, but if it's not female for every character, then I'm definitely restricted. So could I be a successful artsy boutique, you know, studio with such a restriction in 1930? That's the big question. I feel like that is definitely a challenge. So I'm interested in trying it out if you want to see it. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see it. This one here, we're trying to get this one to be, you know, one of the top grossing films. So we'll go ahead and refresh that. There we go. Okay. Trick works, of course. And you know what, Lewis? It's fine. We'll give you what you want. And in fact, I'm gonna give you some medical coverage. Oh, I don't have any heroin. I probably should get some. Take that one out of context, YouTube. All right, there we go. I probably should though, because I'm immune to police raids, so might as well. Nope. Okay, we have another actor that wants to. We're gonna be taking all the actresses, basically. Hiring all of the actresses is what I would have to do for that run. I would have to look through the whole list of actresses and just be like, I want all of you. And I would just constantly resign them because they're cheap anyway. I can literally get sometimes 3 of them for the price of 1 of the men, right? Sometimes that is possible in this game. And so I would then be relying on them to level themselves up through making many, many, many films, carefully crafting the budgets. And then once we get boutique, we can start sending them off to film school, start refreshing that their star ratings and stuff. trying to get them to where we lift the cap on their skill level and raise them up. My only concern with this, I have several concerns, but my biggest concern here for this is the way the game works and how they get their professionalism score up over time. It seems to me their professionalism score is not directly correlated to their age, but it kind of is. You're not really going to get 18-year-old actresses who are 9.0s, right? You're not going to get very many of them. All of your higher professional actresses, they're all older, which is a little weird. It's not like it necessarily materially affects your gameplay, but you need a child, or you need like a high school student or something. Like you need a movie where your brave protagonist that's fighting the dragon is like this 20-something, but you want your movie to really sell, so you go for high professionalism, and it turns out that woman's 50 now, right? It's a little weird. You almost have to ignore the age of your talent. Monster's going to be a monster. I don't know whether it will make, the top numbers of the film. I may choose to release it next year because it's a great film, and in fact, I probably will do that since it's already October. Let's put Lewis in there. Being able to print my own, having everything high quality later is going to be great. And then 16 days left on the sonotone to be done, and then we can start working on the camera quality. Wardrobe by Cristo du Valle. I don't know. The legendary European will take your measurements, discuss your preferences, and develop sketches of your future wardrobe. Then, together with his team of highly trained professionals, will bring his vision to life using all of the most expensive and high-quality materials. Finally, he will personally fly to America to present the finished collection, a single copy sewn exclusively for you. That sounds incredibly expensive. I'm thinking we go hotel suite now. Car and driver, hotel suite. I want all these things too, Having these gifts is nice to keep people happy, but I think that's enough diversity in that. I'd like to get special events, not in this version of the game. We can go cocaine. We can go down. I'm going to go down and get these things, I think. They're actually pretty fast to get, too. And then in the services department, I'm going to go down gifts, and I'm going to grab illegal gifts. They are so cheap because they take cash. Oh my God, you can have so much of it. So much heroin. I'm going to get 40. We'll never need that much, but we're going to get it. Compared to the wardrobe thing, it's very cheap. But I can use normal funds on the wardrobe thing. Honestly, the cash is very easy to get, so whatever. Professional achievement. After a film's release, everyone who participated will receive a happiness boost. That's superpowered. That's game over superpowered is what that is. Then we have labor market. Double the number of employees available for hire. Okay. And then positive attitude. Every employee happiness won't drop when their loyalty falls below 10. So we can try going down here. I kind of want to get in and see about the whole illegal thing. Get the illegals. So I'm going to try to grab this, because the other ones are going to take thousands of days. And normally I would go after the other ones first, because the ethnic composition thing doesn't bother me. It doesn't mean anything to me. So I don't really care to manage that. But the other stuff is really, really strong. So if you have everybody happy all the time, they just produce way better work. Power plant is done. Stop depending on the city to supply our electricity. So that should really help our budget. Big time. All right, cool. Let's set up the distribution for this again. And yeah, arbitrariness. We can move this up a little bit. Probably fine. Yeah, there. This is all fine. Okay, go. And then arbitrariness will take everyone's money, hopefully. And I think I'll just take this producer at 5.3. Fine, you can be here. I really don't need to renew your contracts anymore. If I'm only going for few really great films, Oh. So that's it's a secret with maximum risk of being discovered. Interesting. Well, Mr. Fields, would you like to work on that, please? Maximum chance of being discovered right away. Okay. All right, now we want to upgrade this camera. So we're going to go 1, 2, put 2 teams on it. If I do that, it's 420 days for all of them. Let's work on the quality first. We do get a little bit of a discount now. That wasn't a thing before. They've changed it. So if you do more, you get a bigger discount. So it's 150 days for this one, 150 for this one, 150 for this one. So what it should be, right, is 600 days for all of them. But it's actually 420 days for all of them. So you get it, all of them for, you know, a pretty big, that's a half a year difference there. If you were to do all of them at once, you just don't get to use them while you're doing it. To where if I do this, it's 270 days, then another 270 days. It takes me longer to get all of it, but I get the quality faster. And that's kind of all I care about right now is the quality. So I'm still going to do it this way. But when I first started this playthrough, you saw on the very first day, the very first video of this playlist, that wasn't the case. You know, they've made changes and stuff, and some of those changes have rolled over into my version of the game. It's just not all of them. Oh, you're still making money. Unfortunately, you're not going to make money here and here, and that's going to hurt me, but I probably should have spaced out arbitrariness just a little bit more. Well, hopefully you are like #1 in the box office already, even with this. So we're going to let you have that. Hopefully you have made a lot of money already anyway. And seeing that this is like your 4th month, it's not going to 3rd month. Yeah, it's week 10. This is your 3rd month. You weren't going to make a ton of money here anyway. So I think it's fine. Scylla. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. I thought you wanted a contract renewal, and I was saying no. I didn't. Now I want to make you happy. I don't mean to make you sad. Would you like some heroin? Where'd she go? Where's she at? Where'd she go? Women. Scylla. Hey, Scylla. You want? I just want to. Man, is it gonna make her happy? What does it do? It doesn't. It's unknown. Will she like it? That's for me. You're quite the joker. You nearly had me believing you're serious. I was even starting to wonder who to tell first. The psychiatrist? I know, a police officer. Ha ha ha. Well, that's not what we wanted. I think you have to have like an addict or something to give those guys something. There you go. Maybe if I make her really happy and loyal, she won't tell the cops. We'll see. We will see. I might have just ratted myself out there. Family reunion. Family members separated by circumstances are united again. Okay. Nice. All right, Monster. You're going to be next year's film. And then we're going to obviously need to get Cleo involved in a film still. So that's a thing I still have to do. I have 600 days. Guy named Ted, I don't think... Yeah, I'm going to bring you down this way. No, we're going to bring you all the way over to the next year, right? Let's go Valentine's Day. An action, thriller, science fiction on Valentine's Day? Probably not. 6 Ted. Now, we really want to stay away from Ted, so I guess we will do this. Let's do it on Valentine's Day. It's fine. Max this out. This will be the only movie showing that week. Probably don't need to max it out. That's a bit extreme. We don't need to do that. Whatever, do it anyway. And then here, and then here, and then let's say... Just go about like that. It's fine. Then advertising. We'll start an extra week. Try to extend that over. Yeah, we're going to really milk this one as hard as we can here. So, oh, that's as far as I can go with the ads, huh? Okay, in that case, we'll go this way and then... Okay, what? Interesting. I can't go any further. Huh. I can go way earlier. I can start anytime I want in the early days, but I can't go any further back than this. Okay. Maybe it's because it's too far in the future. This is targeting boys. So here, we'll say probably here. here and here. I don't know if boys means kids too. It's a thriller. You know what? We'll add the kids. Why not? I have no idea. I mean, I assume. I should probably assume that that means kids. Because it doesn't say men or young. It should say like young men or something, right? So we'll do that. We're going to do as many tricks as we can. We'll actually start with a surprise wedding thing if we can. Oh, please. There we go. Nice job. We'll start with one to really bump those numbers up in the beginning. And then we'll do the other trick to revitalize it on the other side. Okay, cool. Well, are we going to make the biggest of box office smashes? Let's see. So I want to see how Gernstein's films are doing. If I take a look at... These are the film releases for the last... I guess, I don't know how many, 6 months maybe? I don't even know. It doesn't look like Gernstein's released anything lately. Edward Peterson no longer works at Gernstein Brothers. Told me twice. Yeah, they haven't really released much. Can I see that in the calendar? Okay, weekly box office. Can I see more than weekly? Because this right here, Sand in My Eyes, they've made 5 million. That's good for the week, but I want to know, because I've made the most money, or at least I have the most money. I guess that doesn't mean I've made the most, but I have the most. I'd like to know what the box office totals are for the year. I wonder if that's something I can see in any type of menu. Construction. I don't think so. I'd have to go back in the calendar and maybe choose different weeks. Is that even doable? Well, it's up here, right? I guess, is this for the whole month? 5 movies. This is for the whole year. Okay, 7 movies. Yeah. Okay. So these guys have had their biggest one was Retirement Rush for 17.5 million. Okay. Well, that beats not what it seems. So I only have one. I have the #1 film. Yeah. I have the #1 film in the box office with a better idea. But unfortunately, their Retirement Rush beats my second one. So I'm not going to have all 3 this year, which is why we're going to aim for it being all 3 next year is what we're going to do. That's how we'll play it. All right, Bone Grinder. Still can't skip these. Like, the only thing I really want to skip was that, and I still can't do that. All right, let's do this. And Arbitrariness is now playing in theaters. Long journey. Someone goes on a long journey, voluntarily or otherwise. We can make The Hobbit now. Time Machine. The script is done. I'll send it to the doctor. It's fine. Just give it a little bit more. That movie's got nudity in it, so you got to make sure it's really good. Or these guys won't be able to look past it. They'll be hiding their kids' eyes. I don't think I targeted kids with... I'm not going to target kids with that script. I mean, I could. I am Hollywood after all. But I don't... I'm not going to. Let's end distribution on that film. Hello. Don Armando Conti. You seem familiar here. You're the new head of the Mafia family. So daddy died, eh? My father was a hard man. When I was a boy, I asked him if I could take care of horses and work on a farm. He slapped me and barked, "You'll work for the family, kid." And here I am, working for the family. It's a burden to me, but I never learned anything else. Yesterday, my oldest son came to me and said, "Dad, I want to make a movie." And unlike my father, I was delighted. I promised my son I'll support him in everything. Dad said, "You're a wise man with a keen sense of talent. Ricardo has got talent. Let him make a movie so he can get a foothold in Hollywood. You'll see he's a smart guy. He'll make a lot of money for you." Make sure the movie is good, yeah. Within 1 year. Okay, we can do that. Sure. Say goodbye to an obscure boy named Ricky and say hello to the great Hollywood director Ricardo Conti. Now, here's one thing I guess I'd have to learn, or I'd have to know from you guys as far as the parameters of this whole female only challenge that I've got in my head now. I forget who it was that put this in there. It's in the last video. Just go into the comments of the last video and just upvote that guy. Off the top of my head, I don't remember who it was. But when events like this, do we have to follow that rule? Because obviously Riccardo Conti is not a man, okay? Or he is a man. He is a man. He's not a woman. So how do I have the all-female challenge, but yet still have stuff like this? Would I have to go against the mob? Would I have to turn them down? Is that the only way, right? Or do I get exemptions for stuff like this because it could lead to other things and it could lead to more story elements, and I don't know if I'll miss something by not having them as a friend, that kind of thing. The film crew better not play any games, otherwise we'll solve problems the old way. Yeah. Sure. Release a good film directed by Riccardo Conti. Now that's a different thing though, right? Directing is not the same as acting. So that may actually be okay, because Riccardo's a director. Interesting. So I could do stolen cufflinks for the criminal gang and everything. But it has to have a commercial appeal of above 5. There's no guarantee that'll happen. I'm gonna back out of that one. Because there's no guarantee that actually happens. So I think Don't Start Without Me is probably a better fit. iMachine's already... Maybe we'll do iMachine with this, because it's going to start, higher than 5 already. Yeah, I'll probably give him iMachine. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be this video. It's almost an hour. Sorry about that. Maybe you guys like it. I don't know. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I welcome your feedback. Bye-bye.